Hey everyone, it's Anthony Ramos here. I am so excited. The Emmys are upon us. They are September 20th. And today I'm so excited to be joined by someone who I could not be more excited that is now an Emmy nominee. It's Rain Valdez, who is nominated for Outstanding Actress in a short form comedy or drama series for her series Razor Tongue. Rain, how are you doing?
Hey, Anthony, I'm good. How are you? I'm
Doing
excited to
good. Well,
chat with
first off, big congrats. We haven't, spoken in person since the nomination, but I want to go back to the moment when, they said your name and you're an Emmy nominee. What was that like?
you. Yeah, it was one of those things where I had to kind of find out on my own because they only announced the big name categories. Um,
Right.
that's what was televised. So after that was done, which was literally like about 10 minutes or so, um, I was getting dressed to go walk my dogs because it was early in the morning, but something told me that I should probably just like open my laptop and look. So I did. I went to the website. I found this PDF that listed all of the nominations, and I was scrolling and scrolling, and it took a while to get there, but it was on page 34, and I found my category. Um, and I saw my name. I saw Razor Tongue and Now Ever Productions, and it was a very surreal moment, I think, for me. I didn't really register what was happening. Um, so it took me a minute, and then I just started shaking and crying because I knew it was a big deal. Because as I was looking at the screen, seeing what I was seeing, I was getting texts from people who were seeing the same thing,
Hmm.
and congratulations, which confirmed that I was nominated. So it was a huge moment, and I don't think I'll ever forget that morning. It was one of those things where it's kind of an out of body experience. You just really aren't sure what to feel at that moment. I remember asking myself, "Well, what do I do now?"
What
Uh,
next? Yeah.
so I started calling and texting friends, and particularly the Razor Tongue team, because the show is it's self-made, self-produced. I wrote it, I created it, but it's also community built. We crowdfunded the whole show with our community here in Los Angeles, just using my social media. So it felt like a huge win in that sense. I didn't feel singular in it at all. I remember just feeling like this is a huge win for me and my team because of the things that we want to continue making. And I got really excited about that.
No, and if you even, it's so amazing to get nominated, not only for, an acting project, but a project that you created, and it's like your baby, basically. Have you even wrapped your head around if you win, then what?
That's a really good question. I've tried not to think about it as much because with these things, I've just learned that you can't really expect anything.
Right.
And luckily, working on Transparent, I was surrounded with, some heavy hitter talent like Judith Blight and Catherine Hahn and Amy Landecker and Joey Soloway. And for them, it, it's all about the work. It's all about the journey. And the Emmys just sort of presents itself as something to celebrate and be a part of the party and be a part of the conversation. So for me, I think I'm still celebrating the nomination itself.
Yeah,
Uh,
enjoy the moment.
yeah, I'm soaking it all in, and the fact that I'm here as a queer trans woman and a Filipina American is it's a lot to celebrate.
We're having such a Filipino power moment, which I love because I am also Filipino. But like I just spoke to Isabel Sandoval and Ivory Aquino about lingua franca, and then we've got Gina Rosero, who has been doing some of our political democratic convention coverage. It's like I love this moment of for the Filipino culture. It's incredible.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's our time. You know, there's been we're so talented, Filipinos, Filipino Americans. we're so talented, and I feel like we're finally getting the kind of recognition and the kind of access that we've been wanting for so long. So it really makes me proud to be a part of this growing movement of Philippine X artists.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I was going to say Filipinx, that is right, right? Filipinx.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen, because I know we've got Latinx, like, but I want to talk, going back to the nomination, I know that Laverne did a very sweet message on social media, really just celebrating you and wanting to congratulate you. What did that mean for you to kind of have someone like Laverne Cox, reach out and, show support?
It's kind of a big deal because for a long time she was the only one that's nominated. So I knew this was a huge moment. And so I texted her because I knew that she was nominated too for Outstanding Guest Actress. And so I figured that she wouldn't be looking at the full document that I was looking at. So that morning I texted her and I said, thank you again so much for voting for me. This really means a lot. And I'm literally like shaking as I send you this text. And I sent her a screenshot of my category. And she replied with such enthusiasm and excitement. And we both, we got together and we celebrated. And it's a big deal because, when it comes to representation and when it comes to the work that's ahead of us, it can be a revolution if it's just one of us. So it has to, Hollywood institutions and the gatekeepers have to include more than just one or two. We can't be the one and only. And so the fact that it's happening gets me really excited because it shows that there is a progressive movement that's happening in Hollywood. It may not be happening fast enough, but it's happening. And that makes me very excited.
Absolutely. And what I love so much is there seems to be a genuine friendship and sisterhood, because there are so many talented trans women in Hollywood, whether they're actresses or behind the scenes or both, with Alexandra Gray, Isabel Franco, you, Gina, Trace Lissette, so many people, Peppermint, and Laverne, obviously, Angelica Ross and everyone on Pose. It seems that there is this bond that you all have when it comes time to support each other, you all really do. What is it like to have that kind of just, extended connection with everyone?
It's really special. The sisterhood in the trans community is very tight and it's very special. And I could not survive this journey, this industry without them. Alexandra Gray and I were talking last week, and we pretty much grew up in the industry, having worked on Transparent together. And, and same thing with Angelica Ross. We all kind of grew up together in this industry. And so the fact that we still have each other's backs and the fact that we still have, support for one another says a lot because, it's hard enough already just being a trans woman, and to see us supporting each other really means, the world to me. And I hope that other communities see this as an example of how to support women. And trans people, trans women specifically, know how to do that really well.
What do you think this moment right now, with your nomination, with more projects, getting made by and for trans people in Hollywood, what do you think it says about where we're going for opportunity for the LGBTQ community, especially with the trans community?
Well, so that's a really good question because I feel like we're still at the tipping point. And I'm hoping that this continues to open doors for creators such as myself, because there's so much more that I want to create. There's so much more story that needs to be told, not just from my perspective or from my lens, but from a transmasculine lens as well. And I think that what I do and what Laverne does and what Scott Turner Schofield does is we're constantly proving to the industry what we're capable of, not only in terms of our talent and our skill sets in front of the camera, but our abilities as producers and creators, our competency. So I'm hoping that translates to the gatekeepers allowing us in more and allowing us the decision-making power that we lack so that we can continue to shift the narrative and combat all the negative depictions that have been created in the last 150 or so years, right? So, so for me, it's still just the beginning. For me, it's the more different kinds of representations that we have, the more all of those negative depictions wouldn't matter as so much because we have the accurate aspirational content. And so I'm looking forward to a future that is very much that is very equity centered for people of color and for trans women and trans masculine artists.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you have a project you're working with Scott Turner Schofield, right now, I think.
Yes, it's currently screening at Outfest.
Amazing.
Now, the Digital Film Festival. Yeah, it's called Becoming a Man in 127 Steps. And
we love Scott, obviously. He's a great friend. Dad works with us. It was funny. I was, just thinking about this moment for the Filipinx, community, the LGBTQ community, and I was talking to Nico Santos on Instagram the other day, and he wants to do some sort of Filipino version of Friends. And I was like, I'm in. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. Let's put that. I mean, you have to be involved if we do that.
Absolutely. I would love to. And we need that. We need that kind of show. We need that representation.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Rain, we couldn't be more excited for you and your nomination. Just a reminder, everyone, Rain is nominated for Outstanding Actress in a Short Form Comedy or Drama. The Emmys will be, I guess, live. Well, they'll be on TV, but it'll be remote, a little different, September 20th. So, Rain, best of luck to you. Continue success. I can't wait to see what you create next, and we'll talk really soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. So good to chat with you.
You too. Thanks.